Wednesday, nobody's here yet. No one can hear me. But for the people who are watching this after the fact, you can hear me. So in case you can't see my comments, for class this evening, you will need 2 light hand weights. As per usual, I'm using my trusty cans of beans. And you will want a smallish pillow. I'll be using a cushion, so something around that size. Or if you don't have a smallish pillow, you can use anything sort of squarish and lightish. A lot of ishes, but basically we're doing some core work with it, and you just don't want it to be too heavy, and you want it to be of a size that it can balance on your legs. You'll find out later when we get to the core. Let me make sure that the camera situation is going to be okay. For view, I think if I'm here, I feel like I test this every single week. Yeah, that should be fine. And I can never get it perfect. Also, I'll put the link in the description, but if you like my shirt, because I'm obsessed with my shirt, it is made by a wonderful fitness person. Company is Decolonizing Fitness. And the founder is Ilya Parker, and he's pretty amazing. So definitely, I'll add the link to his website in the description, but highly recommend checking it out. Even beyond apparel, he does really amazing workshops and things like that. Not sponsored, just did a webinar with him on Thursday last week, and it was incredible. So I've been talking about it a lot. Natural plug for my fellow fitness peeps. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our warm-up. We're about 5:32. Yeah, let's get started. So if you've been coming to these classes for the last few weeks, you'll know, let's do 10 arm circles back. You'll know that we've been doing supersets. We are not doing supersets today. We've been doing them for long enough. It's time to change things up, time to give the body something new to work with. So we're going back to what we started with originally, like back at the beginning of quarantine. So if you've been doing these classes for 6 months, you'll be familiar with this. And we're doing the stabilization portion of strength training. So think lighter weight because we don't have heavy weights, and higher rep. So really focusing on muscle control, joint stabilization, all of those good things. Okay. When you finish with your arm circles, adopt a nice wide stance, reaching down to the floor. If you can touch the floor, great. If not, keep going wider with the feet until you can. And we're just going to rotate up towards the ceiling, alternating sides, and we'll go for 5 on each side, 10 total. The only problem with this shirt is it's very loose, so it's kind of going everywhere. It's okay. All right, when you get to 5, come on up to standing. We'll maintain this nice wide stance, and we're going to be coming down into a lateral stretch here. Weight back over the heels, really focusing on stretching the insides. Ooh, did you hear that? That was my hip that just popped. That felt great. Insides of the thighs, your adductors, and clearly loosening up the hips as well. As you can tell by the giant pop that my hip just gave. We'll do 5 on each side for these two. If you get some clicks from the knees, that's okay. I'm also just like getting older, so I pop and click maybe more than the under 30 type person. Okay, back to normal stance. We'll do some leg swings. Hang on to something for balance if you need to, otherwise just let them fly. Nice, gentle swing. I'm going to rotate so I don't kick the camera. 10 on each side. Just let the leg go. Don't try to control the movement. And then same thing on the other side. All right, when you get to 10, we're gonna do some knee pulls. Sorry, this camera's annoying me. I'm gonna scooch it back just a wee bit farther. Sorry for my face all up in your business there. And hopefully that gets, yeah, slightly wider view. Okay, going for knee pulls. So grabbing onto the knee, pulling in towards the chest, alternating sides. We'll do 6 on each side for these. I'm so excited. The air quality has been good all day today. I have my windows wide open. It's kind of amazing. It's been so smoky. And unreliably, one day will be okay, and then you think you're getting somewhere, and the next day it's smoky again. So you never know how it's gonna be. Okay, legs should be nice and loose. We won't do too much stretching today. We're gonna be getting into our glute warm-up exercise. Warm-up/work, it's both. These will be familiar if you've taken these classes before. We're doing a glute kickback into a lateral leg raise. So 20 on each side total, 10 of each movement. Scooch these aside so you can see. So for the glute kickback, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're kicking back with the leg, and then for the lateral leg raise, straight out to the side. So the combination is a kickback, raise to the side, kickback, raise to the side. So we're doing 10 combos or 20 total if you're counting individually. Just make sure that your standing leg is staying relaxed. So you don't want to lock out the knee and put the pressure on the knee. You want to keep the knee bent so that the pressure is on the quad and the muscle is taking the work. So you're not damaging that knee joint, especially if you have hyperextensive or hypermobile knees, which you can test if you lock out your knee and it kind of goes back that way. That's hyperextension, and it's not good for your knees, so don't lock them out. Okay, I will shut up now. Again, 20 on each side, 10 combos, and then we get a break because we're not doing supersets. So individual sets on these. Whenever you're ready, either leg can start and go. Letting everybody count for themselves. As always, I don't want anyone to be held to my pace. You'll go at the pace that feels comfortable for you. Plus, half the time I forget to count anyway, so it's okay. If you need to hang on to something for balance for these as well, that's totally fine. I do encourage you to challenge your balance a little bit. When you hit that 20 on one side, switch to the other. Try to challenge your balance a little bit. But this one is more about the muscles and not the balance, so don't feel obligated. Chest stays nice and open, upper body is upright. Try not to lean forward as you're kicking back. You should stay planted in one spot through the entire set. When you get to 20 on the other leg, take a break. The quad of your standing leg should feel things right now. Ooh, I need my stopwatch. Got the stopwatch. I'm gonna time a break for 30 seconds. And again, I'm timing this for myself. If you are going at the same pace that I am, then you can time along with me. If not, take 30 seconds whenever you're taking a break. And if 30 seconds doesn't feel sufficient, take a little bit longer. I can't see you. I can't tell you what to do. You can do whatever you want. All right, 5 more seconds to rest, and then we're going into round 2. I'm going to start on the other side on this one just to shake things up a little bit, you know? Got to keep things spicy during quarantine. So, kick back, to lateral raise, going into our second round of, oops, I forgot to start this, 20. Don't forget to keep that knee relaxed. When you get to 10 combos or 20 movements on one side, switch it out and going for 10 combos on the other. And when you get to your 10 or 20, however you're counting, take a break. Take a little breather. 30 seconds. Again, 30 seconds is what I'm timing. Does not have to apply to you. We're focusing a little bit more on the quads on the next exercise. You'll see that everything we're doing is high rep. So extra fun. More reps, more fun, right? Right. Just talking to myself over here, guys. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Okay. 30 seconds of rest is done. Heading into our last set. We're doing 3 sets of everything. Glute kickback to lateral raise. 10 combos, 20 total. And the goal here should not be speed, by the way. Never speed, always control. When you get to 10, switch sides. Oh, I started on the opposite one. That's okay. That's okay. If you start with the lateral raise, just do raise to kick back. I don't know why I did that. Who knows? Brain was telling me funny things. When you get to 10 on this side, take a break. Okay. Slightly longer than 30 seconds. Glutes should be nice and warmed up. Your abductor should be nice and warmed up. The whole hip area should feel like it's done some stuff. It's a little bit more mobile now. We are going to start with some split squats, which will be getting into the quads and the glutes, a little bit of calves, all the good things. We've done these before. I'm doing body weight. If you have weights at home that you want to use, please be my guest. You can hold them at the shoulders. You can hold them down at your sides, wherever you want. If you want to add weight, A-okay by me. I just don't have, I do have weights, but I don't want to make this a weighted class. So split squat, one leg forward, one leg back. It's essentially a static lunge. So the goal is at the bottom of your split squat to have both legs in a 90-degree position. So if I rotate, you can see back leg 90, front leg 90. Most of the work is happening in the front leg. You're coming back up to standing, back down to that 90-90, back up to standing, back down 90-90. So your heel of the front leg is the one that is pressing up. You want to try not to do too much with the back leg because otherwise you'll put some unwanted pressure on that knee. But your heel is going to be lifted up pretty high. So just the toes on the ground. We'll do 15 here and then switch and 15 other side. Upper body, again, nice and upright, nice and open through the chest. Arms can be wherever. I'm going to keep them at my chest. They can be out to the sides, overhead, holding weights, whatever you want them to do. Let's get into it. Starting either side, second leg is always going to be harder, so I would recommend on each set starting with a different side. And 15 reps. Get into it. You can hear my knee popping if you listen really closely. When you get to 15, switch sides. You feel a fair amount of work in that quad. Ooh, yeah. Pop, pop, pop. When you get to 15 on the other side, take yourself a little break. Woo, I feel it. I feel it. Quads are working. All right, got a little bit of rest time. On the next round, start on the leg you just finished with. As I said, second leg's always gonna be harder because in the first round, figure it's doing a little bit of work in the back. So it's already gonna be a tiny bit tired when it comes to the front. So give it a rest, swap them out. Again, keeping things spicy in quarantine. All right, if you're ready, we're going for round 2. So I'm starting on left leg forward. 15 per side, whenever you're ready. When you get to 15, swap it out. Make sure that back knee is not hitting the ground, by the way. When you get to 15, take a break. Grab water whenever you need it. You do not have to wait for rest breaks to take water. To drink water. Stop and drink whenever you darn well choose. Again, I can't see you, so you could pretty much be doing whatever you want to do, and it's absolutely fine. We're moving regardless. Try not to stand totally still on your rest breaks, however, because you do want to keep your muscles warm, and you do want to keep a little bit of heart rate, just because it will be easier for the rest of the workout if you don't let yourself cool down completely and essentially start from scratch. Okay, other leg forward, so the leg you just ended on is now the forward leg. We're going into our last set, 15 per side. Whenever you're ready, down and up. Whoop. I almost fell over for a second. Don't even know why. And swapping legs when you get to 15. Remember, keep the work in that front leg. Back leg is the assistant, not the primary. Hoo hoo hoo. Quad is burning. Burning on fire. Okay. Take a break when you get to 15. Just a little bit of a heart rate going. Yes, there is. Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Okay. We're going into some lateral lunges next. We've done these fairly recently. I want to say 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So if you've been continuing through the workouts, these should be fairly familiar, but I'm going to offer up two levels, one modification, and then one progression that you can choose from for these. So the reason we warm up our lateral squat or lateral lunge is that is exactly what we're doing right now. So level 1, you're going to start in a wide stance, and you're going to do exactly what we did in the warm-up, but for 2 and a bit as many times. So coming down and then pressing back up to standing, down, press up to standing. So from the side, as you come down, butt's going back, weight is over the heel, and you can see that the knee is not coming forward past the toe. So you don't want to be here, you want to be here. And then trying to get as low as possible. For this one, you can lean as far as you need to forward, but I would try to get nice and parallel with the ground, pressing up through that heel. We're doing 12 on each side, all on one side, then all on the other side. Level 2 progression is that you're going to be stepping into the lunge. So same thing, but instead of starting in the wide stance and staying in the wide stance, you are stepping and then coming back every single rep. So that is the version I'm going to be doing. I will let you pick what version you would like to do for yourself at home. Either one is an excellent option. Either way, you're going to be working the same muscles. So it honestly doesn't really matter. It just depends on how you're feeling today, what you would like to do with your body. I will say that if you're stepping out, it's going to take a little bit more mobility and coordination. So if you don't feel 100% comfortable with the form on it, just stick to the wide stance and stick with that for the reps. If you do feel okay with the form and you want to work on your form with the step out, then go for it, try it. But form always comes first. All right, 12 on each side. I'm starting with my right leg out. Let's get into it. Trying to get as low as possible. If it's okay on the knees. If it's not okay on the knees, don't worry about your depth. You take a while, so don't rush them. Again, work on your form, work on getting a little bit lower if your joints feel good. If you're feeling super mobile, try to push it a little bit past the point where it feels like you should naturally stop, and I almost guarantee that you'll be able to get lower than you expect. When you get to 12, we're going to the other side. Now, personally, my left side is a lot less mobile than my right because it is my non-dominant side. So it's not that I can't get as low, it's just that I have to try harder and it feels awkward, but we can still do it. Also, I know my head's getting cut off here, but as I always say, you don't need to see my face. Doesn't matter. Make sure the toes are pointing straight ahead on every single rep. I lost count. This is not a good one to lose count on. Oopsie. Oopsie. They're like interminable otherwise. All right, I'm going to do one more because I do think this is the 12th one. Okay. Take a break when you get to 12 on either side. We'll do like a 40-second rest on these because they do take a little bit more energy. So my apologies. The camera lighting is being really finicky today, and I'm not sure why. It's making it go really dark when I'm at certain angles, but hopefully it'll stay with it through the whole thing. This is the last one for legs. So we're not going super heavy on legs today like we have for the past couple weeks. So whatever leg juice you have left, squeeze that leg juice out, put it into the work. It's your final leg energy, and then we're going into upper body. So, okay. Rest is done. I'm going to start on the other side this time, going for our next 12. Again, pick the level that feels right for you. Zero pressure here. None whatsoever. Also, feel free to put me on mute and blast some good music to keep you entertained, because I ramble a lot. I'm all by myself here in my apartment teaching to a webcam, and I tend to talk way more than I normally would just to fill the empty air with noises. So don't mind me. You can mute me if you want to. I won't be offended. I should start playing gentle music in the background. I have a couple songs that I put together that don't require like licensing, so maybe I'll start playing those. You can hear them in my cardio workouts if you take my cardio workouts. When you get to 12, take a break. And rest. 40 seconds. Keep it moving. You can dance. You can walk around. You can pace. Do some low impact jumping jacks or regular jumping jacks. Oh, it's so nice to have fresh air coming in. I can't even express the past few weeks of class. It's been like roasting stuffy air because of the smoke. This is so refreshing. Okay, 5 more seconds to rest, and then we're going into our final set of laterals. I'm going to start again on my original side, stepping out with the right leg. You can do whatever you want. Going for a final 12 on each side. When you get to 12, switching sides. If you get sore tomorrow or the next day, if it's delayed, you will likely feel these on your inner thighs and glutes a bit. That is what it is working. Adductors and your bum. Both very important muscles to help keep everything supported. Adductors help your hips. Your glutes help your hips. They help your lower back. They help your core. Glutes are everything. If you have lower back problems, I always say, work your glutes. Work your glutes, work your core. It'll help a lot. All right, I've got 3 more. You're hitting 12 wherever you're at. And this is my last one. Nice and low on that one. There we go. Okay. Whew. We still got some sweat happening, even with the windows open. All right. Breathe. Breathe, breathe. Now I feel like I don't even have to intro the next exercise because anybody who takes my classes knows I think literally every single class, the first upper body exercise that we do is push-ups. I love push-ups. I hate love them. It's a very bittersweet relationship, but we're doing eccentric push-ups, which again, if you've been taking this class for a while, you know are my favorite kind of push-up. I think they are highly underused, highly underrated, and they are so good for your muscles, so good for your strength. So basically, eccentric is the term for the lengthening movement of the muscle. So you have, like a bicep is a really easy one to demo on. Your concentric is the contraction. Isometric is the static hold, and then as you release, that's your eccentric. So the release movement, the re-lengthening of the muscle. Detraction, is that the opposite of contraction? So you can do any exercise eccentrically. It doesn't have to be push-ups, it can be anything. But basically what you're doing is you're elongating and emphasizing the lengthening portion of the movement. So if you think about a push-up, as you come down into the push-up, your pecs are stretching out, elongating. So you're going slower on the way down. You hold at the bottom for a second, that's your isometric hold, and then you push. As you push, they shorten and contract, and that's your contraction. So what that looks like, I'm doing these on my knees. Ooh, let me get that darkness taken care of. There we go. I'm doing these on my knees because I am not physically capable of doing them on my toes. They are intense. So I would recommend, unless push-ups are like your absolute jam, that you try these from the knees first, or like I always say, do them on the couch, do them against a countertop, against the wall, before you go full on into toes, because these will fatigue you more than a regular push-up significantly. So we're doing 12 of them. Push-up form, hands slightly wider than shoulder width apart, directly under the shoulder, actually slightly forward of the shoulders, but mostly directly under. Your hips tucked under, like a little pooping dog. Tuck that butt under, squeeze the glutes, engage the core, and then elbows are going back, not out. None of this, just this. So with the eccentric, it's gonna look like this. Got it. 4, 3, 2, 1, slight pause, and then press. And 4, 3, etc. So slow 3-second, swift 4-second count on the way down. However you want to count it. Slight pause at the bottom and then push back up. We're doing 12. Get ready. Whenever you're ready, go for it. Again, you are not doing these at my pace, you are doing them at your pace. As you press up, big exhale, and think about shoving the ground away from you. Get angry at it. I have plenty of rage to go around these days, and it's nice to get rid of some of it. When you get to 12, take a break. The effect of the eccentric push-ups should essentially be that your arms become noodles. We want ramen arms, noodle arms. If you feel like your arms are not noodles and there's still plenty of vigor left in your arms, I encourage you to challenge yourself to progress your push-up level a little bit. So if you're against the wall, move to the countertop. If you're on the countertop, move to the couch. If you're on the couch, move to your knees. If you're on your knees, move to your toes. And try the next level up. But if your arms are noodles, stay where you are, you're good. Mine are noodles, so we're good. All right, going into round 2. Keeping that core engaged, keeping your glutes engaged, keep the butt squeezed the entire time. There's a lot of stuff to think about on the push-up. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, don't let your head drop. So as you're coming down into the push-up, try not to like turtleneck forward. You want to keep your chin tucked and your head in line with the rest of your spine. All right, second round. When you get to 12, take a break. Oh, noodles. Little noodles. If you feel that your wrists are starting to bother you from these, do a little reverse stretch so you can put the tops of your hands on the floor in front of you as you kneel, and then just keep them there. Keep a little bit of pressure on them. Should feel good. Should feel like a nice stretch. And then you can always go the other way too. Palms down, insides of the arms facing forward. Those are actually good wrist mobility stretches to do regardless. If you're typing, mousing, any kind of desk work all day, or any kind of repetitive movement, holding trays, construction, lifting, you get the picture. All right, we got one more set. Clearly I'm stalling because my arms are tired. We got one more, and then we're moving on to less noodly things. All right, this is it. Glutes engaged, core engaged, neck engaged. Nice and slow. Final 12. That's my last 3. Last 2. Come on, little arms, you can do it. You can do it, little arms. Yes. Ah. Ha ha. Okay. Whew. Give yourself a solid pat on the back for that one. Those are not easy, friends. They are not easy. Moving on to other things. All right, we're doing some reverse flies. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you will want 2 light hand weights. Now, if you're lucky enough to have gotten yourself some hand weights before the pandemic or even during the pandemic, then you can use those hand weights. If, like me, you didn't have light hand weights on hand and everybody sold out of them, you can use cans of food. So I have black beans and chickpeas. They're just about a pound each, which is on the lighter side, but completely fine. I would say you want something that is under like 5 pounds or less. Let's readjust this here. Boost it up a little bit. Okay. All right, so reverse flies. We are working back to the shoulders and the muscles that help retract your shoulder blades. So all in all, this is a really good exercise for your posture. Again, if you work at a computer all day, this comes in handy. So for this one, feet are going to be hip width, between hip and shoulder width apart, somewhere in that range, just not super wide or super narrow. You're going to be pressing back through the hips. So my usual analogy is pretend that there's a door behind you and you're trying to shut it with your butt. So you don't want to just bend forward this way because A, you fall over like I just did, and B, can you see what happens to my back? It's all roundy. Roundy McRounderson. So when you press back through the hips, you can keep this lovely neutral spine. Arms are going to start by hanging in front, slight bend in the elbow, and then you are literally flying back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. So arms, we're doing this from the front, leaning forward, arms are here, and squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze, just like a little birdie, a birdie with wings. Sorry, people. You can tell that camera work is not my forte. Okay, we're doing 15 of these reverse flies. Count again at your own pace. These should not be fast. They should be controlled. Okay, keep the head up and fly. If 15 doesn't feel like enough, go for 20. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going for 20. 15 is not enough. All right, when you're done with your 15 or 20, take a break. We'll keep it to 30 seconds on these because they're not that difficult. So if you are a frequent worker-outer, official term, worker-outer, and 1 pound, if you're using food cans, 1 pound may not feel like that much to you. So I would encourage you to go for the 20 rep route instead of the 15, like I'm doing. If you are not a frequent worker-outer, I'm going to make this term popular. If you're not a frequent worker-outer, then just go with the 15 at the lighter weight. Or if you have heavier weights that you're using at home, go for 15. Okay, round 2. Pressing back through the hips, keep that back nice and neutral. If it helps to do these in front of a mirror or somewhere where you can see the position of your back, if working out in front of a mirror doesn't bother you, then it can help to kind of spot yourself and make sure that you're not rounding the spine. It's a little bit harder to round the spine on this one than it is on other exercises just because of what you're doing with your arms. But it can still be helpful to make sure that you've got that nice neutral back. When you get to your 15 or 20, take yourself a little rest. Don't stop moving, but relax. All right, there's 20. Starting the timer for 30 seconds. One thing, just a further point about the neutral spine position, make sure that you're not over extending the back too, because what can happen is if you're trying to make your back flat and you're trying too hard, you see how I get this exaggerated arch in my low back? I can't actually arch my back too much because I have mobility issues, but if you notice an exaggerated arch in your low back, again, tuck that butt under. Think about that scared dog and you'll flatten out the whole spine. Or pooping dog, not scared dog. We don't want to scare any dogs. Okay, last set. I'll do these facing forward so you can see the arm position from the front. Final 15 to 20, depending on which one you are choosing. Make sure your shoulders aren't tensing up around your ears. Keep your neck as loose as you can, as relaxed as you can. When you're done with your set, take a break. And 20. Yay! Okay. Take a little breather. We've got one more for the upper body, and then we're moving into some core. Now, the fun thing about core, since we're not doing supersets anymore, we're back to 3 exercises, but we're not doing them as a circuit, so you'll have adequate rest in between each exercise. It's not going to feel like constant work. Okay, last arm exercise. Get this stuff out of the way. We're doing tricep dips. So you will want to find a couch or a sturdy lowish table. Coffee table is probably best. Or a chair. If you're using a chair, make sure it's wedged up against a wall so that it's stable and it doesn't go flying across the floor as soon as you start doing dips on it. But we're going to be doing some tricep dips. So I'm using the edge of my couch, which is very cushiony and soft and not ideal, but it'll work. For the tricep dips, when you sit down on whatever surface you're using, hands are in tight to the hips, so you don't want them way out to the side. Tight to the hips, and then when you come off the edge, you're keeping your butt close. So you don't want to be out here dipping down. You're back here, and you should essentially feel yourself almost in contact with whatever you're using as you dip down and press up. Form point number 3. Don't let the shoulders hike up around the ears. So as you're coming down, you don't want to be way up here. You want to keep them relaxed and keep all of the movement in your elbows. And then form point number 4, actually this is less form and more progression. If it's too easy with your knees bent, straighten your legs. The straighter your legs, the harder it's going to be. So you can have full 90 degrees, mid-range, totally straight, one leg crossed over the other. Pick your pace. I'm going with knees bent because my arms are tired. We're going to do 15, and we're going to do 3 sets. Whenever you're ready, get in place and start your set. Everybody counting for themselves, as always, as long as you're counting to 15. And if 15 feels easy, go for 20. If 15 feels hard, go for 12. This really is pretty squashy, but it works. When you get to 15, take yourself a little rest. Try to be up on the feet. If you're really beat and exhausted, you can go ahead and sit on whatever you're using for your dips, but otherwise I would encourage you to stand up, move around a little bit, keep the juices flowing, because we have 2 more sets and you don't want to cool down too much. A little bit's okay. Too much is not. This is it for the arms, people. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Okay. Let's go for round 2. Find your spot. Make sure you're nice and stable. And then drop it down. Make sure your elbows are going straight back and not out to the sides, by the way. That's why you want to keep them narrow. When you get to 15, take a little rest. Get up, walk around, shake out those triceps. 30 seconds on the clock. Take longer if you need it. I say these things over and over again, but that's because I really do mean them. I set rest breaks for myself so that these classes don't go for like 2 hours, because I could easily do that. But I set them to hold myself accountable to wrapping things up in a timely manner. But if you need to take longer rest breaks at home, you have whatever time you're allotting yourself, and that is A-OK. All right, last one. Hands in tight to the hips. Scoot yourself right off the side. Last 15, keep those shoulders down. When you get to 15, the arms are done. All right, moving into core. This is where you'll want your pillow. If you were here at the very beginning of class, or if you can see the comment that I posted, I don't know if those are actually visible, but I mentioned that you'll want a pillow-like object. I have this lovely couch cushion that I will be using. Basically, you're just looking for something light and with a little bit of width so that you can balance it on your legs. So I will demo this. Stupid camera. It's gonna make it go all dark. There we go. I'll demo this with my feet going down. Basically, you are passing the pillow from your hands to your shins and extending in between. So we're starting in this little tabletop position. Legs extend out, arms extend out. Together, pass the pillow to the legs. Legs extend out, arms, back to the hands, out, back to the legs, out, etc. Again, this is not about speed. This is about muscular control. Because this also puts a little bit of pressure on the low back, You do not want to take it too fast. You want to really, really listen to what your low back is telling you. So if the low back is not happy, adjustments can be made. Instead of legs going out straight, you can pass the pillow between and extend up and then out and then up and then out. The lower your legs are, the more pressure it'll put on your lower back. So just feel your way. If it starts to hurt or you feel it start to arch off the ground, then adjust it and move the legs up a little bit higher. If your lower back feels amazing and can handle anything, then get your legs nice and low, like an inch between your heels and the ground. Like, go for it. As I said, I got back problems, so my legs are not going to be super low. But again, you can modify at home to suit what feels good for you. You don't have to do everything that I'm doing exactly as I'm doing it. Our bodies are different. Okay, we're going for 30 seconds. We're going to do 3 sets, 30 seconds of rest in between. I'll keep time on my stopwatch so you don't have to. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Go ahead and get in position. And 3, 2, 1, and go. I usually point my toes on this. I don't know why, but it feels better that way. It engages the quads, feels more controlled. But again, you can do whatever feels right for you. Almost there. We got 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, 30 seconds to rest. Then we'll tackle round 2. Let me make sure we're doing okay on time. We are just fine. A little bit more rest time. How are you guys doing? You doing okay? Hopefully you're doing okay. 5 more seconds to rest. Go ahead and get in position. 3, 2, 1, and round 2. Just about 5 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, and break number 2. 30 seconds to rest. Ooh, nice little pop in the back. I don't know if those present are over 30, but I am. And I've definitely noticed that my body makes more noises than it did pre-30. Everything pops when I stretch. Like, I'll stretch and I'll be like, oh, shoulder pop, chest pop, back pop, hip pop, everything. Just, it's like a percussion section. Okay, last round of these in 3, 2, 1, and go. But that in itself is extra motivation to keep working out. And like, if I wasn't doing this, how much more would I be popping if I'm already popping this much? So, you know, encouragement to stay mobile and strong so that everything doesn't pop twice as much. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. You're done with that pillow, so you can place it back from whence it came. Our second core exercise, same format, 30 seconds, 3 rounds. We're doing a plank variation. This is probably my favorite plank variation. We're doing a passing plank, so you'll need one of your cans or light hand weights, whatever you're using. We are in a high plank position. Now, if you have wrist trouble, you can do a regular plank down on your elbows and hold it for 30 seconds. If you do not have wrist trouble and you want to try this, we're basically going to be dragging the object through side to side in our plank. So feet are going to be the width of your mat if you're using a mat. Otherwise, they're going to be about shoulder width apart, so slightly wider than a normal plank. Hands right under the shoulders, hips down. You're reaching through, grabbing your weight, putting it on the other side. Reach through, grab your weight, other side. Through, grab your weight, etc. And I want you to think about a bowl of water being balanced on your lower back, and whatever you do not want to spill that bowl of water. It is precious water. Don't let it spill. So to help keep your hips from shifting side to side, you can think about really digging your toes into the ground. The more weight you have in your toes and the more grounded your toes are, the less, forgive me, my words right now, the less your hips will want to shift. So as you lift your left arm to reach through and grab the weight, your left toe is digging in. As you reach with the right arm, your right toe is digging in. So always on the same side that's lifting, that toe is really grounding itself through the ground, because that's how you ground, is through the ground. Okay, shutting up now. We're going for 30 seconds, 3 sets. I got the timer, so don't worry about that. Ready? Ready. 3, 2, 1, round 1. Again, this is not about speed. We're doing this for 30 seconds regardless. So don't worry about being fast. Make sure that your neck is not dropping down. Head is staying lifted in line with the spine. That rhymes. 10 more seconds. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. 30 seconds of rest. Then we're going into round 2. I'm sweating a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Sip water whenever you need it. Please. We're very informal here. In case you didn't know, it's a very casual class, so you don't need to wait for any official water breaks. All right, next round in 3, 2, 1, up on the hands. Or if you're doing this down on the elbows, up on the elbows. Make sure you're breathing. Don't forget your breath. Breath is pretty important because you need oxygen to live. I don't know if you know this, but you know, it's pretty important. Got 5 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, and there's our break. 30 seconds. 1 more set. We're almost done. We have 1 more core exercise after this, and it's a fun one. I think it's a fun one. But it is. I don't think that's just like trainer opinion. I think it is actually fun. 10 more seconds of rest, and then we're heading into our final set. Last bit of energy. Almost done. All right, I'm going to switch this to the other side. 3, 2, 1. Pop up on those toes. Pass it through. Pass it through. Also, if this is bothering your wrists, you can be up on your knuckles. Do it like monkey style. And rest on your fists instead of on the palms of your hands. And that will relieve the pressure on your wrists. But we're almost done. We have 5 seconds left. Hang in there. Whatever you're doing. 3, 2, 1, and done. Okay. You will need both hand weights for the last one. We're doing a sit-up to a punch. This is why it's fun. Because again, I have rage. Not normally a ragey person, but at the moment I have rage. So you can really put some force behind your punches if you have stress that you need to relieve or anger. I always picture sort of an amorphous blob of white supremacy when I'm punching something, and it really helps me direct my rage. So if you want to picture that, or if you want to picture something that really made you unhappy today, you want to picture like a little COVID virus molecule and punch the crap out of it, you can do that too. But basically, we're doing a sit-up. Weights are being held at the chest. You're going to do a sit-up and then punch and punch. Back down. Sit up, punch, punch, back down. Easy. Easy and fun. All right, 30 seconds. Sorry, I just heard something outside my window. That was creepy. Okay, 30 seconds, 3 sets. 3, 2, 1. Hang on, let me organize myself. There we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Try to roll up and roll down. So you're not trying to keep your back flat as you sit up. You're trying to roll up shoulders first and then all the way up. Otherwise, there is a good chance you will hurt your back. Less than 10 seconds left. We are almost there. There's 3, 2, 1, and take a rest. 30 seconds to breathe. Grab water. Towel off. 2 more sets. We're very close to being done, folks. Very, very close. I think I did okay. Nope, I didn't. I was going to say, I think I did okay keeping this to an hour, but I didn't. We're over time. It's all right. Got 3, 2, 1, round 2. Just about 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and break. 1 more set. Almost there. And we'll do a little bit of a cool down. If you folks have somewhere to be, I know I've gone over an hour. Not that YouTube is going to stop me. But if you have somewhere to be, the only thing after this is a cool down. So if you need to sign off, that's okay. That is absolutely fine. All right, 5 more seconds. We got 3, 2, 1. Last 30 seconds of work. This is it. Final effort. You can do it. Ten seconds left. 10 seconds is nothing. It's just a flash. The flashiest of flashes. 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. That's it. You made it. You crushed it. You rocked it. Y'all are awesome. I really appreciate you being here or being virtually here. Let me adjust the darn camera once again. We'll do a little bit of a cool down. And then you are free. Okay. Stretching through the chest. So clasping the hands behind the back. Pressing out through the chest. Really arch through the back. So now it's okay to arch through the back because we're stretching. We're not doing muscle work. You get a nice stretch through the chest, across the fronts of the shoulders. And then folding forward, keeping the arms clasped behind you. Folding towards the toes. Bringing the feet a little bit closer together so you get a little hamstring stretch in there as well. Let the head relax. And then letting the arms relax down. You can wiggle your head around gently and then roll on up to standing. We'll get the quads. If you need to hang on to something, hang on to something, but we're going to be grabbing the ankle, pulling the heel in towards the glute, keeping the core engaged so that your lower back isn't arching. Make sure the knees are even with each other. And then we're holding that stretch 20-ish seconds. It's so quiet. It's really, really quiet. All I can hear is my clock ticking. Okay, other side. Grabbing the ankle, pulling the heel towards your butt. Keep that core engaged, tuck under through the pelvis. Knees are even with each other. And pull to stretch through that quad. All right, we'll make this a quick cool down. One more stretch for the triceps, grabbing the elbow, pulling it behind the head, stretching back through that tricep. You don't have to rock side to side. I just have trouble standing completely still, as I have discovered over the years. And then switching sides, grabbing the elbow, and pulling. Solid stretch through that tricep. Whew. Oof, oof, oof. All right, we're done. Bravo to you all for making it this far. I am sweaty. I am ready to eat some dinner. I hope you are too. Thank you for coming. Same schedule as always next week, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. We'll do strength training. We're going to keep on the stabilization route for a little while to keep things interesting for the body. And I have my Saturday low impact cardio videos. They're not a live class, but I try to keep the upload schedule consistent. And then as always, I take video requests. So if there's anything you would like to see or any information you would like to have, I can do nutrition videos. I can do other kinds of training, anything but high impact. I can't do high impact, but yeah, I'm willing to take custom requests. Also, if you weren't here at the beginning, not sponsored, but shout out to my shirt because it's awesome. Decolonizing Fitness. Look them up, check them out. They're awesome. Hopefully I will see you next week. Go eat some good food, wash your hands, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Mwah.